So the IBF have mandated Bahkram Murtazaliev to fight Josh Kelly for the IBF Super Welterweight Championship at £154. Now, this is a fight that I think both guys have sort of desperately been wanting. I think Josh Kelly's desperately been wanting that step up to world level, and he's been calling for it. In my opinion, it's not for want of trying. I think you've probably got coaches and managers around him and promoters that understand that Josh Kelly might not actually be at this true world level and want to protect him as much as they can. But it gets to a point in a fighter's career where they can only be protected so much. You know, they've beaten a lot of guys at, British level. They need that step up to European world level. Now, Josh Kelly has had that step up to European level before at £147 against David Avanesian, and he got mollywopped. If we're being honest, he got mollywopped. He won the first round pretty comfortably, Josh Kelly. He was opening up, he was putting his hands together, but once he realised that David Avanesian was basically going nowhere and he couldn't get him out of there in under 4 rounds, he gassed out a lot come the third round. Even come the second round, I could tell that Josh Kelly was slowed down markedly. Now, the commentators hadn't picked it up yet, but I could see where in the first round, he was putting together 3-4 punch combos. By the second round, he's already pot-shotting. He's already gone to pot-shotting because his conditioning was so poor and it was just so badly managed in that fight against David Avanesian. And even in his fights post that, he's not looked amazing against a lot of these opponents. His last fight against Flavius B, I think is how you say his last name, was a first round knockout, and that's really that's the result where Josh Kelly's really sort of trying to catapult his career from and say, okay, I beat Flavius B, first round knockout, give me someone who's world level, and he's been ranked, in top 10 from the IBF now. It's following that win from Flavius B somehow that he's been ranked number 3 following that, so. He's in contention for a world title shot and has now become the mandatory for Bahkram Murtazaliev's IBF £154 championship. Now, going forward, I'm just going to call him Bahkram because saying that last name is crazy. But Bahkram was and still is to large portions of the boxing media and fan base, he's an unknown, right? Everyone's only fight they know of Bahkram is when he beat the brakes off of Tim Tszyu. Absolutely mollywopped him and got him out of there in, I think, 3 or 4 rounds. Right, dropped him multiple times, landed cleanly on him multiple times, rocked him, dropped him. That was all she wrote, right? Now, that's his only real marquee win. That being said, it's one hell of a marquee win to have, because it's for a world championship. And Tim Tszyu, even at that point, he'd lost to Fundora, but it was still largely, sort of said that Tim Tszyu was going to beat this Russian guy and then go and rematch Fundora, right? Instead, Bahkram beat the brakes off of Tim Tszyu and took the IBF World Championship. So you're looking at him and you look at him, Josh Kelly. You see, Josh Kelly he's on a winning streak for sure. Murtazaliev is unbeaten, so he's got that over him already. Josh Kelly's been beaten, so you look at his loss against Avanesian. Now, like I said, Bahkram probably isn't as quick. But Bahkram's bigger and hits even harder, in my opinion. Now, Avanesian has proven he is beatable. Like, he's lost to world-level operators at 147. He lost to Crawford and he lost to Jaron Ennis. Guys who are truly at the world level at 147. Josh Kelly couldn't beat Avanesian. So it does sort of show me, in my opinion, where there is levels, right? And Josh Kelly wasn't at that level on 147. I don't think he's at that level at 154 either. I don't think he's changed at all, in my opinion. I think he's very much still the same type of fighter in terms of style, and he will go out there and fight Bahkram the same way he was going to fight Avanesian, in my opinion. Now, perhaps, hopefully we see a touch more measured version of Josh Kelly, who tries to slow it down a bit more and knows that you're not getting Murtazaliev out of there in 1 round. That's not happening, right? It's going to be very, very difficult. Unless you land a crazy punch clean very early on while he's still cold, you're not going to put him out. So box accordingly. Win these rounds, grow into the fight. But Josh Kelly's style is very flashy. It's very showboaty. He does a lot of big movements. And over a 12-round fight, that takes its toll. Those movements take its toll. And then also, when you're getting landed on by Bahkram, because he's going to be there. Bahkram's not going to roll over and show his belly. He's not going to not be a live body in there. Bahkram will be coming to fight from round 1. I do fancy Josh Kelly to probably take away some of those early rounds, because I think Josh Kelly will probably know that Bakram's going to be onto him, so he's going to want to sort of open up early and get that respect. He's going to try and do that, right? And in him trying to do that, he's going to pick up some early rounds, but ultimately, over the course of a 12-round fight, Bakram would beat Josh Kelly. And Bakram beats a lot of these guys at 154. It's only once you start talking about the Madramovs, the Ortizes, the Fondoras, that's when I'm sort of thinking, well, now we're going to see the level. But I don't think Josh Kelly's quite at that world level yet. Or, not yet. I don't think he ever will be, in my opinion. And it's a shame, because at 147, there was a period when I thought he seriously would be. And I was hoping he'd get one of those big fights against the Jaron Ennis. But it never happened. And now he's left the division. I mean, both guys have actually left 147 now. Both guys' next fight will be at 154. But yeah, Josh Kelly, it's a shame, because at one point he was one of my favourite fighters to watch. You know, coming up when he first turned pro, some of the moves he was doing to these journeymen, he was just embarrassing some of these guys. And even now, even in that fight against David Avanesian, he had good moments, but Avanesian just had too much for him and just steamrolled him. And I think Bahkram Murtazaliev would do the same thing when they fight. It's not been a date has not been confirmed yet, sorry. But it's been mandated by the IBF, so I'm imagining that a fight announcement date will be coming out quite soon. But yeah, I'd be curious to know what you guys think of this fight. Do you think Josh Kelly could beat Murtazaliev, or do you think Bahkram will retain his IBF world title at 154 pounds? Curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.